Every time, every time. Welcome, vocalists. I'm so happy you're here. Today I'm going to take you through the Zoom V6 vocal processor, and we're going to get started right now. Hey there, it's Scott at the Pedal Guy. How you doing? Well, we're all about pedal demos, pedal knowledge, and pedal sales. I love pedals, and so do you. In this video today, I'm going to take you through the Zoom V6 vocal processor. This is a multi-effects pedal board that's made specifically for vocalists. So all the effects, all the bells and whistles that are here are for vocalists, and it even comes with a shotgun mic in the package. How cool is that, right? So let's go ahead and do a tour of the interface before we get to some audio examples. On the far right here is the XLR input for your microphone. There is a fan and power switch on the back, so you can use either a condenser or a dynamic mic with this. You have a volume knob, you have a clip indicator, you have a compression knob as well. To the left of that, you have what's called the enhance button, and this is to help you with your higher frequencies. To the left of that is the memory section. You can have up to 100 presets in the V6, so that should give you plenty to work with. Now moving to the middle of the V6, that's where all of the effects are built in, and it's split into 3 sections: voice, harmony, and effects. Now to the far right is the formant character expression pedal, and this is used to change the vocal characteristic without changing the pitch. So if I just use it and start using it without having to do anything else, you can still hear something's happening, obviously, because it sounds like the vowels are changing. But notice, though, that the pitch isn't changing. So if I sing a sustained note, nothing happens to the pitch at all. The format is just a great way to create some expression into the performance, and we will be using it. Now here on the bottom part of the V6, you've got your memory and your looper section, because there is a looper in here that can give you a little over 3 minutes of looping power in the V6. And you've got, if you're familiar with using loopers at all, you'll feel right at home. It is really, really simple to work with. And you also have your memory buttons, so you can move up and down. So you can very easily. If you want to bypass the entire unit altogether, you can press and hold the far left foot switch here, and this will bypass the entire V6. So now you're hearing my vocal mic going straight through and out to my mixing board. So if I press and hold it again, now we're back online. If you want to go to looper, you just simply press, and now you're in loop mode. You can see that the readout here is saying LP, meaning you're in loop mode. Let's go ahead and change gears, and let's start checking out some of the effects. Okay, we're going to start with the voice section here, and this is where we apply different vocal textures, like pitch correction, like vocoding, like octaves, like unison, all that great stuff. And there are some really creative ones here as well. There is also an adjustment knob to adjust the intensity of that effect or to change the octave, depending on which of the settings you've selected. You also have a key knob here as well, where you can set the key. So really, Zoom is taking all the guesswork out of this. Now, if you don't know what key you're in, there's a chromatic selection here as well, and the V6 will try to guess that as it's correcting the pitch. But I'm going to stay with key, and I'm going to keep my key on G minor there, or B flat major, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on this section, and the adjust knob will determine how natural the pitch correction will be. So with this setting, it sounds very natural. Or if you want it to sound a lot more robotic, you can go all the way to the right. And you can get that auto-tune effect that everybody looks for. A couple of the other ones here that are really great, there's like the octave up, octave down. So we can go octave down, we can go octave up. There's also the unison. That's a pretty popular effect because it creates that vocal doubling sound, and you can change the intensity of that. La da 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 da. There's also some really creative ones here, like the robot. You knew I was going to do that, right? There's also one that's really great here. It's called the whistle, where it takes the vocal pitch and it turns it into a whistling sound. And you can have it mixed with the natural voice or just the whistle by itself. So let's go ahead and turn that on. And let's see what this sounds like here. So you can really do some interesting stuff with that. And of course, you have a talk box, you have a vocoder here, and this sounds. So if you want to do some Zapp and Rogers, that's where you're at. And that's kind of a quick overview of the voice section, but I'm going to use it in the next, when we start putting it all together in a little quick performance, so you can really hear what it can do for you. Next up is the harmonies section. And this is where we set up two-part harmonies to go with your main voice. You can go higher, high, low, and lower. It's determined by the key that you've selected. You also have a fixed operation here so that you can just lock into the note of the key you're singing in. And you have a mix knob so you can go between natural and harmonization. So to turn it on, just use its corresponding foot switch, and now it's on. And at this point now, you just simply select what notes you want. So a lower note, a higher note, and if you want, you can also change the volume of those individual notes. So you use the switches here. So let's go to the higher one here, press it once, and that turns the volume on that note down a little bit. Press it again, it turns it down a little bit more. It's getting a little darker. It's a little hard to see on the camera, but that's what's happening. Press it again, and now it's off completely. So let me turn the mix up, and I'll demonstrate what that sounds like. So as you can hear, you can really create some amazing two-part harmonies here, and I will show you a little bit more of this very soon. Now let's go to the effects section. This is where all of your reverbs, your delays, your choruses, all that stuff is right here. Turn it on, and you can hear that we've already got a Hall reverb selected. You can change the intensity of that effect by using the adjust knob. So you can sound very cavernous if you want to, or you can make it sound a little closer. So you're changing the delay time is basically what you're changing there. We also have a chorus. We have a delay and reverb. So you can change and go really cavernous, or you can get really tight if you want to. If you want to do like an Elvis sound, you've got an echo slapback. Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. So I'll let you take it from there. You also have a delay section here. And the delay is set up by mix, feedback, and time. And the time is also tap tempo. So you can change the time by either using the effect knob if you want to, or you can use it just by tapping, and it'll create a whole new time for your delay effect. So if I go back to feedback here and turn that on, and let's say I want to change that to something really slow, I can just do that. Then you got your feedback, where you can change the feedback to something very short. You can mix between no delay and a lot of delay. So it's a very useful effect. You also have distortion. I won't go to too much, but you also have a telephone effect, and that sounds pretty interesting. You know, if you want to sound like you're speaking through a megaphone or a telephone. You have a beatbox effect. Now this is what this does is it increases the intensity of the overall effect so that it's kind of perfect for beatboxing, for like creating a kick and a snare. So, but you know, again, we'll get into that, and then we're right back to all of the reverbs again. So that pretty much wraps up just kind of a guided tour of the V6. There's also the section down here as well that has to do with the looper. I think it's probably best that we cover that in a future video, but for right now, let's go ahead and check out what we can do with the V6. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. every time, every time, every time I see you, every time, every time, every time I feel you, you make me sing so real. You make me feel so real. Well, that concludes our video on the V6. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any further questions, use the comment section below, and I'll get back to you when I can. Thanks so much. Well, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any further questions, be sure to visit us at thepedalguide.com. But in the meantime, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly videos and tutorials. Thanks for stopping by here at thepedalguide.com, where I love pedals and so do you.